Hello ghoulies and beasties, it's me, Anastasia Paige Milano, coming back to you with a new makeup tutorial. Today we're starting off with the contacts already in, and we're going to start with the strobe cream in Pink Light from MAC Cosmetics. We're just going to put that everywhere we want it, as well as snag my dermal, because why not? That is one of the most irritating pains. I swear, my belly button ring didn't even hurt as much as this one does. Also prepping the lips with the Squirt gloss stick from MAC because I know how to use it. I'm also going to mix together two foundations. I have my MAC's Studio Fix SPF 15 and NW10, as well as my Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation in 130N. I do like to be a little bit more neutral whenever I'm doing my makeup. So that's why my arms or my hands might appear a little bit more pink. I just have a lot of pink in my skin. But whenever I'm in drag, even though I like to be pale, I do like to be a little bit more neutral. So that way it doesn't look like I'm just being burnt alive by the sun. And today we're doing the makeup pretty much from the nips up. So chest and shoulders are going to be covered as well. It is a struggle to cover that sometimes. Shoulders are the hardest place to paint as a body painter. So now we're going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour stick in the shade Mink. And I'm just going to place my shapes. I've been really loving these shapes specifically for my glamour drag, just because it does help lift up my features and kind of carve me out. You know, carved out like a jack-o'-lantern. Your girl loves a good pumpkin. So we're just going to continue to blend this out until I am happy with how blended it is. I do find that using a brush like this does make it a little bit easier to blend out. Also, as you saw me do in the beginning, I did breathe on my contour stick. Now, I would not do that if I was doing it on somebody else's face, but I'm doing it for my face because it's my breath, my face. I don't have to worry as much with hygienic rules. Just to warm it up a little bit, you could also just rub it on the back of your hands. That also works too. We're then going to go in with my Morphe 2 Peak of Porcelain Concealer. And I'm just going to place that in the places that I want to be a little bit brighter. And by a little bit, I do mean a lot of it. We're making exaggerated shapes on our face to create an entirely new face. So you're going to have to exaggerate it a little bit. I am super excited to be coming back to y'all with more tutorials and videos in general. I love being able to create and being able to share that with everybody. It's been a minute because your ghoul was working out some day job issues, like not getting enough hours, but she's getting paid and getting a lot more hours. So now the editing apps are paid and videos will be made. I'm then going to take the excess concealer that's left on this brush and I'm going to kind of clean up my cream contour a little bit. We're then going to use that same concealer on our on our clavicles. I was not good at anatomy. And then we're going to highlight the middle of the chest as well as each bosom. Because while they are slightly growing, thankfully, they're not as exaggerated as I would like them to be. So we are going to be doing some makeup on the chest, breasts, and clavicles today. Not completely harsh on them, but just enough so that way you're like, oh, wow, a definition. I'm then going to take my MAC Pro Set and Blur finishing powder in the shade Translucent. I'm going to use the puff for the most part around my face and neck. And then you're going to see me swap over to a brush to spread that around my chest, shoulders, breasts, and clavicles. And got a kiss from my baby. And we're just going to set all of this and then rub off all the excess with the brush as well. And while I have y'all's attention, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos. That way I can grow this channel. Also, comment some tutorials that you'd like to see me do makeup or prop-wise as well. We are then going to take my Fix Plus Stay Over Spray and we're just going to set all of this. Just that way it kind of melts into the skin a little bit more and doesn't look so powdery. Get you a fan, stand in front of a fan to dry it down a little bit quicker as well. Then I'm going to use a trusty old straight line card from literally anything just to work on the powder contours. I honestly just use a bunch of different brown eyeshadows for my contour, for the powder wise. I just don't necessarily like a lot of the powder contours that are sold, just because they do tend to be very orange on me, and I like a more neutral tone to my contour. So I usually just use a bunch of eyeshadows and hope for the best. Then gonna go in with some of that translucent powder, as well as my mineralized skin finish from MAC in the shade Light, to kind of brighten up and add more coverage in places that I feel like I need it. So it's gonna be the jaw highlight, around the sides of the nose, and around the mouth as well. I'm also gonna place that on my collarbones as well as the breasts, because I want them bitches to pop in the video. Then I'm gonna take those same eyeshadows I used to contour with to define the chest and clavicles. Spray some more stay over spray, fan yourself off, give the camera a wink and a little tongue. Then taking my transformation palette with the first 2 pink shades and the 3rd red shade, and I'm blushing my face with those first. I love this palette. I'm gonna keep using it until I hit pan on literally every single one. And then taking my powder brush and just veiling over that on the body. And then I'm going to take my Juvia's Place Duo Blush Set in Volume 5 to stack on top. Then I'm taking the Super Shock eyeshadow from ColourPop, and it's in the shade Tassel. And I'm just using this as a highlight for all over. I love this eyeshadow. Strictly for doing highlights. Like, it is so pretty. You know what my favorite thing to do with it is? Yes. Because when you rub that on a clavicle or a shoulder and then mix it with the Stila Heaven's Dew All Over Glimmer in Silver Lake, oh, it's eating. It ate the whole damn buffet. I love looking like I have metal plates for highlight. And don't forget to hydrate. We're then going to use the transformation palette again for the eyes. I started using those greens because I wanted a sort of tealish green eye. As you see, I'm going to swap over to my Sugar Pill palette because I felt like this was a little bit more of a dark or muted green and I wasn't feeling it. So we're going to jump in with Arsenic here, as well as Mochi, which I apparently never pick up to show the camera. And I'm going to blend those into the eye, just to make it a little bit more of a brighter, softer green and not so much of a muted green, because I still wanted it to be a little bit more of a teal color. And then I'm gonna just make the shape that I want. Today we are doing a cut crease. So I'm outlining the shape of the shadow first, and then I'm gonna go in and cut that shape in. We're gonna do the under eye here and then repeat it on the other side, using those same 2 shades as I get it in my contact. I'm then gonna use the Smashbox Always On Shimmer Cream Eyeshadow in the shade Emerald Shimmer. This, honestly, I love it, but this was not the right makeup to use it for, because in the end, you really don't see it that much. So I will be using this in a different makeup at some point. It is stunning. However, the way I was wanting to use it, it just didn't work. But I do recommend going out and buying it because it is really fucking pretty. If you love a strong, see, like that outer corner right there, beautiful. But unfortunately, it wasn't exactly what I was going for. So in the end, it does get covered up a little bit. So I would definitely recommend using this. If you're doing a darker cut crease, then definitely just use it by itself. I then went off screen and used more of the Tassel, as well as Silver Lake as you see me. And then I used Taco from Sugar Pill to kind of lighten up the brow area, because I love a strong brow bone. Give me a bitch brow any day. Another kiss from the baby to encourage me to keep going. I'm then gonna pile on Silver Lake as much as I want until I'm satisfied. I'm also gonna restack that onto my cheek for my highlight, as well as putting it in the space between my lower lash eyeshadow as well as my upper eyeshadow. You see me putting it in my inner ear tear duct as well as across my lid where the cut crease is gonna be. That's not necessary to do in this step, just because I didn't really know how I was gonna cut it. I'm then gonna play eyeliner roulette, and we're going to see how many times I swap this eyeliner out to see which one is not dead. I do believe I went through 3 different eyeliner pens, and this is the NYX Cosmetics Epic Ink Liner in black, obviously. This is my favorite one to use whenever I'm doing eyeliner. It's just so easy. As well, you just saw me mess up. I blinked and it transferred. If you do that and it messes up, you just gotta leave it alone. Just do the rest of your makeup, forget that it's there. I'm then gonna add a very thin line through my lash line on the bottom, extend the wing a little bit. So the way that I fix this is I just made it a little bit thicker. And afterwards, I went in with my Extra Dimension Skin Finish in the shade Soft and Gentle from MAC, just to add a little bit more shininess, because you can never be too shiny in your highlight areas, can you? At least as long as you do it properly. And then just taking some clear eyelash adhesive, and I'm using that to cut my crease as well as to stick on the glitter. Now, you obviously don't have to do this if you don't want to. The reason I'm doing this is because I just don't trust any other products to hold glitter on the way that this does. And it's just quick and easy, and that's how I'm covering up that messed up eyeliner as well. This glitter is from Bellaterra. It is their mineral glitter in the shade Crystal Ball. I'm then gonna go in with Tassel as well as a mixture of Silver Lake in my inner corner, just to make that pop a lot more as well. I'm then gonna blow the glitter off my nose, which obviously was not effective. And then I'm gonna add my beauty marks, which this is where I'm gonna swap it out for the 3rd eyeliner pen. And this is the one that actually isn't dying. So I use this to extend my inner corner as well. Do a little shimmy shimmy. Then I'm using my NYX Cosmetics brow pencil in the shade Auburn. We're gonna run that through my brows and start to make my brow shape. She's gonna be very extended and she's gonna be very arched. Like, this is gonna be a beach brow. Like, if you want to have a brow that says, I will fuck you up, this is definitely the brow shape to go for. But also just do a brow shape that you feel like fits the character you're trying to portray, as well as just fits your face shape. This makeup is actually for my reaction video that's going to be posted for Season 1, Episode 4 of Dragula. And that challenge title was Pretty in Pink, aka Basic Bitch. And while I will say I'm very pretty here, there's nothing basic about it. I'm then going to dip into a Morphe palette for a dark brown shade and do the tail end of my eyebrow. And then when I'm gonna blend that into the front, and then I'm also dipping into my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Duo powder in the shade Auburn as well, in the mix of their light and dark color, just to kind of fluff up the front of my brow a little bit. I wanted it to be Auburn, but I didn't want it to be too light. I'm then gonna use my very own lipstick from Horrific Beauty in the shade Screw Sleep. I'm gonna be using this in the middle of the lip, and I'm gonna be ombreing it with MAC Cosmetics Locked Kiss Ink liquid lipstick in the shade Vixen. This is my favorite lipstick from MAC. When I got this, I was so happy. And then I'm gonna use my middle and ring fingers to kind of blend those two colors together. You could use a brush, but I usually just use my fingers just out of convenience. Now, if you're doing this on somebody else's face, use a brush, you dirty whore. I'm going to keep blending that until I am happy. And yeah, I really like this color combo lip, not gonna lie. I'm just gonna press my lips together until they're blended, and I'm applying some of Silver Lake on top of it as well. And then I wiped my fingers off as well, because I'm not risking that shit transferring to anywhere else I have my makeup done. I'm then taking the pan of Silver Lake and literally swiping it across my body, and then using the Mac Stack mascara from MAC Cosmetics, because why not? And I'm getting very close to this camera. I didn't realize how close I was, but you get to see the makeup in better detail, because my makeup not only looks good from far away, but it looks good up close too. And I'm allowed to brag about that, because there's some people who can't get that close without looking like oatmeal. Gonna put that on my top and bottom lashes and just rake that shit through, because I gotta make sure that the foundation as well as any glitter that is on my eyelashes gets covered up. Gonna go in with a few final touches of powder, as well as spraying my Fix Plus Stay Over Spray. And I'm gonna put on lashes, wig, and costume off camera, and here she is. Absolutely stunning. Had grabbed the fur for this one as well, and I made everything you see that I'm wearing, including the hair, the accessories, the dress, and the gloves. See y'all in the next one, ghoulies and beasties.